So I'm just going to get this kind of prepared for a dry run here. So I've got this jig. This will sit on here, and we'll be able to put clamping pressure down on the guitar. Now, like I said, how most bridges are this way, I won't be able to use the positioning pins in the way that I would normally use them. So what I'm going to do is use some of these old bridge pins and just use that to locate the bridge in the right position. These bridge pins are all a little bent and chewed up, so I'm just trying to find a couple good ones, and that way we can line up the bridge. And what I'll do is I'm going to make a little mark with the pencil here and mark where it needs to be cut. I'll do the same thing for this one. See, we might be able to find a straighter one here. Maybe not. And then I'll do the same thing and mark where it needs to be cut. And we'll take these and we will cut right on that line. And then I'm just going to use a file here to take the top down just a hair. That way our jig is not riding on these location pins, but that it's putting even pressure down on the top of the bridge. So now, we stick these in here. We should be good to go. Alright, so now we've got our locating pins on here and it's not protruding out of the top. Gonna line this up. Nice, and that fits really nicely there. So the next thing that we need to do is take out, we're going to use on the wings here. Since this just has a focal point down, we don't want to mar the top, and I'm going to tape up the top as well. That way we won't run into any marring of the top of the bridge. And then now all I'm going to do is can mark out where it needs to be cut, and we'll just use some scissors here to cut along so that no glue gets stuck under here. We can see the squeeze out and take care of as much of it as we can while the glue is still wet. Alright, and then now our pins are in the right spot. So like I said, we kind of are using this a little bit backwards, but that's due to the shape of these Gibson bridges kind of being used in reversed, at least from most other manufacturers. So we want to line this up here. And again, normally we'd be able to use it backwards and use the locating pins that are a part of this jig. But because we can't, we're going to have to play a little bit of a balancing act for these wings, which is alright. Now we're going to take our clamps. These are these Stumat clamps. I'm just going to feel here where we need to be so we can get a good height on them. Take the other ones out here. One. Just a piece of wood for the leverage there. So just kind of getting these prepped. I'm happy with that right there. So what we'll do now is we'll take these and loosen them quite a bit, just enough to get it out of there, and go ahead and put glue on it. All right. And I use Tight Bond. It is definitely a stronger glue than you have to use. Fish glue I like working with, but I don't do this quite enough as far as putting bridges back on to deal with the upkeep of hide glue or fish glue. And so I find that Tight Bond is really easy to work with. It's got a much longer work time, which is helpful for me. So now we're gonna locate those pinholes. I'm gonna quickly make sure there's not a bunch of glue right in those holes, so that we're not gluing the pins into the guitar. Taking a tissue here to wipe off some of the initial squeeze out. That way we have, you know, as little of a mess to clean up as we possibly can get. But it does clean up pretty easy once we get it all situated. All right, we're good to go. Start clamping. Get this. Find my little block here. so we can get some leverage on it. It's not super tight right now. I want to get these others on there nice and good. I want to probably lean these a little bit the other direction. As the middle one, because this guitar is a little bit shorter scale, it'll just allow us to get a nice even clamping pressure, and you don't want to over tighten. And then we use these little ends here to make sure that we get good even pressure along the entirety. And I've got some damp paper towels here just to deal with, again, that squeeze out. These corners, it's sometimes kind of tricky to get everything out of there. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. Got nice even squeeze out all along the bridge there. I'll try one more time to get in under this. There we go. And now we should be good to go on this. So we're going to let this cure, and then we'll come back and we'll put the frets back on, the new frets rather, after we do just a slight raising of the fretboard, and then we'll work on getting the saddle cut. We're going to get new bridge pins for this, and then we got to address this tuning machine ferrule for the G string, and then hopefully this thing will be ready to go and playing better than it ever has. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next vlog.